Look, further to last week's High Court decision, overturning a previous ruling of 2 decades standing, about 80 convicted foreigners have now been released into the Australian community. In addition to the Burmese man, and look, this is going to be tough to hear, but you need to know exactly what his crime is. This Burmese man in detention after leaving jail for anally raping a 10-year-old boy. The released detainees, including a Malaysian man convicted of murdering a pregnant woman, who can't be returned to Malaysia because Australia doesn't deport people facing the death penalty. 80 odd are out on the streets. These are serious criminals now at large in the community because the High Court, in a judgment with the rationale yet to be released, decided not to follow its previous precedent. Now, I can appreciate the argument that it's unfair to keep foreigners convicted of crimes here in immigration detention indefinitely after they're out of jail if their own country won't take them back, because that effectively means life in imprisonment in Australia. But, and it's a big but, why should we have them on our streets after they've abused our hospitality in such a brutal way? There has to be a way of being fair to foreigners who've committed serious crimes without giving them the prize they want of life in Australia. Now, maybe it's released to a third country, PNG, Nauru maybe, until their home country can be persuaded to take them back. Maybe it's control orders, keeping them out there and free, sure, but watched very carefully, perhaps in isolated places where they can't do much harm to anyone but themselves. The government says it's taking steps to preserve community safety, but so far, other than fairly perfunctory reporting requirements, we haven't even seen the details of what that might be. This is an issue where the government and the opposition should be ready to work together to come up with a better way. As things stand, there's now another route now, isn't there, to permanent residency in Australia. Commit a crime so serious that your own country won't have you back. Presto, do your time, and you're free to stay in Australia forever. Given how weak Labor's always been on borders, you've got to wonder how hard they even fought this case in the High Court, don't you?